Hey folks, how's it going? You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you? I began this project by cutting out a giant heart out of XPS foam to show my love for the game. Conveniently, Majora's Mask has the same shape, so that worked out really well for me. My air quality sensor is an Arduino that will light up some LEDs when it detects bad air quality. So to hold all of that, I cut out a second piece of XPS foam to add a bit of depth to the mask and glued them both together. With the height to how I wanted, I began to cut away at the edges to get the more rounded shape that the mask has. And then after a quick sand, it was time to start working on the eyes. My goal for this mask was to have the eyes light up like they do in the game when it does something evil. In this case, when it detects bad air quality. So I had to cut out the foam in order to put LEDs there. The eyes will be made up out of some LED foam. This material is real nice to work with because it looks just like all the other foam I'm using, but it allows light to shine through. The spikes that I ordered for the mask were a bit too short to my liking, so I decided to help them out a bit and add a bit of height to them. These spikes are just some cheap ring holders that I found online. At this point, I wanted to make sure that my mask wouldn't leak, so I did some caulking to seal up the edges. This also had the benefit of adding more support to the spikes and helping to mask the difference in the two different materials I used. I then added a final layer of wood filler to really try and make the materials look similar, and then sanded it back just a bit. To make it look more like the spikes are coming out of the wood itself, I surrounded each of them in a half cylinder of EVA foam. I used those same half cylinders to detail the mask and give it those lines that it has. I then went back and made really sure that nothing would leak out of the mask. To make the face look a bit more realistic, I added some pores to the mask. And then it was finally time to start adding some wood grain detail. I took a wire brush that I got from the dollar store and just started scraping it all along. To start the painting, I covered everything in a layer of black paint and Mod Podge to give it a base primer, but also to give it a layer of protection. I purposely avoided the eyes in this step as lights would have to shine through them, and I didn't think black paint would help with that. Before painting the mask in its iconic colors, I wanted to make the whole thing have a base of a wood color. The way I like to make foam look like wood is by layering a few different brown paints, and then going over the whole thing in a wire brush again. Looking back, I'm not really sure this step was needed. And then it was finally time to start painting. And with the painting done, all that was left was to apply a wash to the whole thing to give it more of an ancient feeling. And then install my air quality sensor and call it done.